Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to walk you through making some coasters for a customer of mine who placed the special order, and he wanted specific colors. So I told him that I would film it and also show him how I made them, and if you'd like to make your own, well, these are the easy steps to follow. Um, with that being said, let's get to it. The colors that he chose are titanium white from Just Resin, black from Just Resin, and aluminum, which I'm pretty excited to use this because I've yet to use aluminum. I've used some gold in the past, so I wonder if it's gonna act the same way because it's, the metallics in it. But I guess we're just gonna wait and see what it does. For our resins, we are going to use Stone Coat Countertop Art Coat, the part A and part B. Part B is just the hardener. And we're going to use these coasters here. These coasters have a protective film on them. You can see it's the back of it, that's the front. So you have to remove that film before starting. This one's got a little burn transfer from the laser machine, but it'll all be covered up. So that's one of them there. I went ahead and peeled 3 other ones just to kind of speed up the video. So with that being said, let's get started. Put some gloves on. You guys should always use protective gear. I mean, we are working with chemicals here, so it's always a good idea to wear gloves. You don't know how your skin might react to some of these chemicals, so always be safe. And it just makes cleanup a lot easier. So as far as the resin, this resin calls for a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. I'm going to use this measuring cup here, and we're going to mix 3 ounces of each one. We're going to start with the B part of it, which is the hardener. And the reason I'm starting with that is because it's easier to pour out. It's thinner, so it just makes mixing up everything easier. So there we go, got 3 ounces. Also, it's a good idea to keep a microfiber towel like this handy. I buy in bulk, so I buy these from Costco. They come in a big pack. I'm not sponsored by Costco, but if they would like to sponsor me, I'd be okay with that. So shout out to Costco. Now we're going to mix part A, which is the resin, and this stuff's a little thicker. That's why I said to mix in part B first. Dump that out first. There we go. We're going to use our stir stick. Mix this stuff up really good. Trying not to, make a lot of air bubbles in there by whipping it really hard. I mean, the air bubbles are going to happen, but just trying to minimize them. So this stuff we're going to mix up for about 3 minutes. Make sure everything is mixed up really good, because the last thing you want is for your resin not to cure properly. Then you're going to have soft spots in your art pieces, and I mean, basically ruin all the hard work that you did just because, you know, part A and part B wasn't mixed correctly. Also, you want to scrape the sides and the bottom and your stir stick. Once again, this is to ensure a good mix of everything. So also, guys, when working with this stuff, it's essentially odorless. This resin is why I like it. But I mean, this is, you know, that's chemicals. That there is going to be some kind of a fume coming off of it. Just because you can't smell it doesn't mean you can work with it, you know, just in a closed room. So I have a window open to, you know, ventilate. I don't need anybody getting sick off fumes. None of that stuff. We're here to make art, not get sick. So let's scrape this one more time. Bottom, stir stick, and our resin is mixed. So now we have 3 colors, 3 separate little containers for our colors, 3 separate stir sticks. We'll start off with the white. Always mix up your pigments before pulling out whatever you're going to use. It's just a good practice in case any of it, you know, starts separating within this container. So here's the white. You just need about that much. Black. So how is everybody's Friday night going? Are you guys new to the channel? Have you been subscribed? If you've been subscribed, have you been sharing the videos? Have you been telling your friends about it? See, this is why I said it's good to mix your pigments. I mean, you see how clumpy that is? I mean, I think a lot of that in this color is it's kind of like the gold. All the metallics kind of clump up. So, especially this being a new color, that this is the first time I open it. So you want to mix that up really well. I feel like this color will, just by looking at it, can take over a piece, you know, that you're working on. So just from what I can tell, you know. So I would suggest you use this very scarcely, unless, you know, that's your main color. So now we're just going to mix in some resin into each color. So if you watched my last video, it was basically some finished coasters that I did last night. And, you know, I didn't feel like recording for some reason, and then I started, you know, making the coasters, and by the time I was making them, you know, I felt like it was too late to start recording, but I wish I would have recorded that session. So I'm going to make it a habit to record everything from now on. But, you know, at least I showed you guys the end result. They turned out really, really nice. The customer that ordered them, I sent him just some previews of them, you know, just some pictures, and he loves them. But I think once he sees them in person, he's gonna really love them. I feel like pictures and videos, a lot of times, you know, I don't care how good the camera is, what a camera sees and what our eyes see, it's two different things. I mean, yeah, technology has come a long way, and there is better cameras, better resolution, but there's just some things that I believe just look better in person. Especially, you know, a lot of the metallics, like the gold in that video, it just looks different in person to me. So that's why I said, like, this silver, you know, like what I'm seeing and what you guys are seeing here, you know, it's two different things. Lift it up, lift it up. Mix these up a little bit more, just to be safe. Alright, so I'm going to have my handy spray paint caps. That's all it is. I'm just going to use that as a base to elevate my coaster. Am I ready getting color on these? I think I got some silver on my gloves. So I'm going to put on a new set of gloves just so I don't get color where I don't want to get color. So it's always good to keep extra gloves handy. Alright, this little spot will be covered up. So for our first one, we're going to pour just a little bit of resin to you know, give it a thin coat. They call this grease in the pan. Put a little too much. It's all right. We're going to start off with some black. Make sure you guys have a good view of what I'm doing here. Sometimes I'll just start doing stuff and then realize the angle of the camera that, you know, what you guys are seeing here is not the best, so I gotta look over at the laptop, make sure you guys have a good view. Alright, got some black on there. Do some white. That aside. And for the silver, or aluminum, if you want to call it that, that's the actual name of the color. We're going to do it right between these. Now we're going to use our torch just to get the bubbles out, get stuff flowing. With that, let's make this first one, we're going to do a swipe. So we're going to take wax paper, we're going to lay it right here. We're going to pull off the board. And start tilting. Want this to flow a little bit better. Lightly hit it with some heat. You can see where it's already selling up. Yeah, I'm already really liking this silver aluminum. It looks really good. I mean, wow. I mean, that started selling up really quick. Let's see, can you guys see that? Trying to get it to focus. Yeah, I like the way that looks already. So I'm gonna make a little room over here. Cool. Curing station. I'm gonna leave this guy alone already. Let you guys take a look at it. That's one down. So that one, that last one was using just a clear resin as the base. So we're going to experiment here a little bit. We're going to do this one with a silver aluminum base. Let's see what this does. Spread it out. Let's see here. Got the base down. Got the silver down. Let's see. What are we going to do next? Let's do some black. Add in some white. And hit it with the torch. Get those air bubbles out. And then start tilting. This looks like a zebra. It's flowing pretty good. There's no wrong or right way to do this, guys. So, just kind of go with it. Trust your trust your gut. But just remember, resin is going to do whatever it wants to do. So it has a mind of its own. That's why you basically can't duplicate, an art piece. Every piece that you make will be unique in its own little way. Doesn't matter if you use the same techniques, same colors, same room temperature, same everything. It doesn't matter. You can maybe get them close, but as far as exact copies, that's just not possible. So hit it with the torch a little bit, just help it flow a little bit better. So again, this was with a silver base. The last one we did was just a clear base. This is still very zebra-ish to me. Let's see here. So I think what the customer wanted with these colors is something, you know, kind of modern-ish. At least that's what's going through my head. Just picking these colors, because I mean they're pretty simple. You know, white and black and silver. They're pretty classy. You know, they'll go with anything really. So I think we're gonna leave this guy alone. So this is like a, I don't know, what do you guys think? Marble zebra. That's what I'm going to call it. Metallic marble zebra. If you guys got a better name than that for this colorway, I guess you could call it that. Leave a comment below. So we already did a clear base, a silver base. Let's do a white base. We got our base on there. Let's see here. Do something different. Black. Just drop right in the middle. And then silver right in the middle. Looks like an eyeball right now. Somewhat. And then raise the camera up a little bit, give me some room. I'm just gonna blow on this. Like, well, first off, let's torch it. It flows better, get the air bubbles out. And then I'm just gonna blow on it. It looks more black than I was hoping for. Let's do some more silver. Running out of breath here, guys. So I'm just getting real experimental with this stuff. I mean, that almost looks like a marble in a way. That's just for me blowing on it. It's crazy. We're going to hit this with the torch just to kind of even it out and get the bubbles out. Oh man, I really like this piece. You can see, come on camera, focus. See all the cells. I wish this camera would focus a little bit better. I think it's my lighting in here. So let me move this light back a little bit. Oh, here we go. Got it. So let's see here. There we go. Come on, camera, focus. You can see my light right there in the reflection. I've got to get some better lighting in here. So I'm just working with a LED lamp that also I got from Costco. Just kind of over the table. There you go. I mean, that looks pretty good. That looks good on my computer screen. So this guy is ready to come over here to my curing station. Just set it aside. Wow, that looks awesome. I wouldn't mind doing some countertops like that. I mean, I'd probably be out of breath. But I think you can duplicate this with a heat gun. Kind of push everything around, you know, in like low heat. And at the same time, the heat's going to get those bubbles out. So it's a two birds with one stone, per se. Alright. So that was a white base. Let's see, for our last coaster, we're doing 4 coasters. We did a white. Let's do a black base. Because we've done everything else. Spread it out. And for all you guys tuning in, I want to thank you guys for watching my channel, hanging in there. I know we're about half an hour in, but you know, when you're creating art, you can't rush it. You don't want to rush it. Can't rush a masterpiece. I'm gonna hit that with a torch. A little bit more gas, my torch. Alright, so we got a black base. Let's do some white. Let's do what we'll do. Do a stripe of that. And then we're going to do a stripe of silver right next to it. Alright, just let it sit there for a little bit. Put it in the torch, get the bubbles out. We'll do another swipe. I'm going to lay this about halfway between that white there. Lay that on there. Pull. It's stuck here. Because I let it fall. All right. And tilt. Hit the torch. Stuff starts flowing a little bit better. Oh yeah, this is good stuff here. Just let it flow. And that right there. Looks good. That looks real good. So there you have it, guys. I've made 4 different coasters using the same 3 pigments, same colors, just with a couple different techniques that are simple. So I mean, that's the point of this channel. This is so you can do this at home. Everything that I'm using, I'll list in the description. All of these products you can buy through artisttilldef.com. The coasters you can buy through them, the stir sticks, just everything. I mean, you can basically go on that website. I think they have a beginner's kit on there, or you can build your own. And yeah, I mean, start doing this stuff at home. I mean, this is maybe the 6th time I've done resin, 6th or 7th time, and I just knew. I mean, the first time I did it, I was like, I love this. You know, I was on the fence before about doing it, but once I started, I'm hooked. I mean, check it out. I mean, I have a YouTube channel now, so I'm showing you guys how easy it is to make your own art. I mean, look at that. Those are great. I almost want to keep these for myself. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding, customer. Also, guys, whenever you are doing any type of resin work, obviously I always overmix. You know, I mean, look how much resin we have left here. These colors. If you have extra coasters or what, you know, or whatever, obviously you can make as many coasters as you want. But if you don't, the good thing to have is some molds. And I have these Frenchies that I've been doing a lot and selling a lot. They're kind of a hit. So, but anyways, the molds. Just dump your extra pigments in there, you know, and it doesn't go to waste. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to mix all of this silver into the rest of my clear resin. And I think that's going to be enough to knock out one of these Frenchies. Maybe not. No, not quite. I think it takes about 4 ounces to do one of these guys. So we're just going to throw in a little white, a little black, just kind of get it to 4 ounces. Mix it up. It's making like a charcoal aluminum, like a dark gray. That's what we've created. So also that's a great thing about these pigments. All this resin is compatible with each other. You can, you know, make your own colors, like I just did. You know, if you don't like a shade, if it's too dark, you know, if you want to lighten it up, throw some white in there, throw some silver in it, just kind of play with it. But just remember, if you do make a color and you really like it, just write down what you used, or at least try to remember in your head how much of each color you use, because you're going to want to make that color again, and you know it's going to drive you insane if you can't remember what pigments you use and how much of each. So, all right, see if you guys can see that. So with that, I'm just going to dump into our mold. There you have it. I mean, this was resin that, if I didn't have these dump molds, I mean, this is going to go in the trash and go to waste. Hit this with the torch a little bit, just to kind of help the air bubbles. If you do use molds, a lot of people recommend not to use the torch, because if you get too close to that edge, you're essentially melting the mold into the resin, and then you know it's not going to separate how it should, and then you're actually ruining your mold. But you know, I'm really careful with that torch. But even with the torching I did on the coasters, a lot of people don't like to use a torch. They'll just use a heat gun. It does the same thing. It's just heat. So just the torch is handy. It's quick. So I like to use it. But I mean, there's certain applications that I probably will use a heat gun when I want to push pigments around, you know, and get different effects. So with that being said, guys, I mean, that's going to end this video. There are our coasters, and I want to thank the customer that ordered these. You know, everything I make from my sales on this channel go directly back into the channel to replace art supplies. You know, we all know art supplies are not cheap, so it just keeps the channel going. You know, this is not my full-time job. This is a hobby. I mean, maybe one day it can be my full-time job, but for now, we're having fun. And, you know, I'm sharing with you guys as I'm learning. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, if you could, that'd be great. You know, growing the channel, it just makes it that much better. So please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like in the video, what you want to see. If you would like to order any coasters or artwork or, you know, Frenchie figurines or whatever I'm making, everything I make is for sale unless it's already commissioned. Like these pieces, obviously, customer commissioned me for them. Those are not for sale to the public. But, you know, it, it's just to keep the channel going, guys. And with that being said, thank you guys for hanging out. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.